Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Rise and Shine Solar Panel Cleaning Podcast, where we give you tips and tricks for safety and success. We're live. How you guys doing today?
I'm okay.
Pretty good.
I was like last minute getting this thing set up and getting here on time, but we did it. We nailed it. Made it happen.
We did.
I love that.
We'll dig into that a little bit later. Chris, do you want to give the good news today about what's happening at the end of our episode? I do think we've been talking about this for some time now. Had some steady watchers, and it's time to do a
giveaway.
We're going to do a giveaway. So between the three of us, what we've decided is to go ahead and give you guys a 150 gift certificate to the SPCF online store. So we're still working out a little bit about that, but I think what we're going to do is between this week's little program here at the end of it, if you wait all the way to the end, Josh is going to drop a hashtag and we're going to see who's in that. And then from that, I guess, what are we doing? The first person to drop it, how are we going to pick a winner?
I think it's episode 10 for the giveaway. We should do the 10th person on the hashtag.
How will we be able to gauge? I was going to suggest maybe just have everybody do it, round them up, enter them into like a random number picker, and just do it live. Yeah. We could just do it live on screen.
Let's do that. Okay, so at the end here, what we'll do is we'll throw out a hashtag, and then everybody who comments this is hashtag, we'll go ahead and put your name on a piece of paper. We'll put it in a bucket. We'll pull it, and the person who wins a $150 gift certificate to spcfonline.com, courtesy of myself, Side Job Bob, and Josh Lane, CEO of Solar Shine. And that's what we got for you guys today. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for having me back. I've been a little bit sick, but I'm alive again. I almost died.
I know you got that. I had that thing too. It took me out for like 2 weeks. Well, I got sick for a few days, was better for like 5, and then was sick for like a week. It was wild.
No way.
I can confirm the rumors are true. I did contact Ebola virus while I was out in Africa for a short stint, running through a little bit of a vacation thing, but I'm back. It's no big deal. Good antibiotics and a lot of water just goes ahead and it goes a long way, fellas.
Don't forget about the ivermectin.
You got to have the alkaline.
You know what I heard?
You have the alkaline. It doesn't process.
Well, I heard if you take ivermectin and chew up an American flag, that'll heal like anything pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it.
So you've already heard the story. Yes, I can confirm that's true.
Can confirm.
Episode 10. We've got an amazing episode planned for the people today. We got a giveaway at the end of today's episode. Shout out. I think the main thing for today's episode is failures and how we overcome them. I think we talk a lot about success. We talk a lot about the stuff that we've done. But I think it's time to dig into some of the harder parts of running your own business when it comes to a business owner, when it comes to setbacks. But today's episode is basically when to scale and when to quit.
That's a very good thing to think about. There's a lot of people who come into this industry. We've seen the golden age, the gold rush era of solar panel cleaning with a lot of individuals who got into this industry in the past 5 years, and they've come in and have left and ended in financial ruin, whether they did not have the correct products, the correct training, or were unaware of the safety, or just simply had bad business practices. So there's a lot of different things and ups and downs that take place. I gotta say, it seems like in the first 5 to 7 years that, well, at least the first 5 years, there were mistakes left and right that were made, but it got better. It got better over time.
Yes, it did. We're coming up on our 8-year anniversary. Thankfully, that was wild. But we have seen our failures along the way. We even have some that we're dealing with right now. They're not always the easiest to overcome, but sometimes you gotta take a step back, reevaluate, recalibrate, and make it happen. So we're gonna go over some of this today. But I guess, what is, can you guys talk a little bit about a couple failures that maybe you have seen over the years, and how did you overcome them?
You want to go first, Chris?
I would. Oh, yeah. You know what? One thing I don't have a problem talking about is failure, not whatsoever. So everybody knows the story. I talk about it a lot about how my first project was 7,800 solar panels at a high school. Looking back, we didn't have the right training, the necessary thought process to do this properly. Maybe that's the reason why it took us 5 days to complete. Nowadays, when I think about it when I think about 7,800 panels, I consider that a 2-day job. Definitely, if you got the right equipment, that's a 1-day job. Heck, if we look at something like the California model from K Solara, that they can handle between 8,000 to, I think, 9,000 panels per day on a good day with good weather and everything running properly. So when I look back, I think about that first week and being out in that high school, and I think, we didn't have the proper equipment. We had $500 worth of equipment from Home Depot, which equated to two 18-foot extension painter's poles, which are dangerous to be using, and then 8-inch janitor brushes, which takes forever to clean even one panel. And we were up on a lift. We had 2 lifts. We had so much money. There was so much money to throw around. It was sickening and disgusting. When I look about it, it was a complete failure. But in those days, we learned so much. So I don't worry about failure.
8-inch brush, brother. I mean, that would take a residential job 2.5 hours. No wonder it took you a whole week, man. I get it.
Right. 4 guys. Well, you had one
guy.
But
your shoulders are blown out after that too.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Rotating cuffs ceased to exist after the 3rd day. But you have 2 lifts with 2 guys each. You have one guy who's spraying a hose and another guy that's brushing like this. It becomes hard. You're not like this anymore. You've now lowered the lift, so you're just basically the array is with you, and you're just a little bit above it, so that you can clean like this because you're already blown out by this.
Oh yeah.
So
hey, when you were doing it, did you have was it a carbon fiber pole? You said.
No, it was a painter's pole from Home Depot. It was.
Oh, so it was like heck of flexing too, huh? So you couldn't really get like enough pressure down. It's like bouncing around and stuff. I've been there.
Hey guys, you guys might want to call Ryan and get him up because he would probably knock this out of the park.
Hey man, I already hit him up. He is planning to be on an episode here as a guest in the near future. I know we've already got lined up, so. We just got to dial in a date with him, but stay tuned, Solar Cleaner. You'll see him on the show, man, and he'll have some good tips and tricks for you.
Sorry if I don't impress. I'll try to do better to impress you. I'm sure it'll make me lose less sleep at night.
No,
the thing about it is that there are a lot of different jobs that come and go. We were talking about this, and at one point, I had 6 crews and we were cleaning 43 schools in 2 weeks. A hellacious 2 weeks that I look back was during spring break. Good money made. There was also a lot of mistakes that were made. We had guys out there that didn't know what they were doing. We made it through those 2 weeks, but of course not without hiccups. So, do I look back and see some failures? Yeah, I think so. But here's the thing about it. Failures are not fatal, as Winston Churchill said. It's what you do with these and what you make with these. And if I didn't have those situations in those first earlier years, would I ever created solar panel cleaning friends? Would have I ever created any podcasts? Would have I ever created any videos that went on to inspire and motivate hundreds, if not close to 1,000 other individuals to create solar panel cleaning companies? I don't know. So I don't think so. I don't think failure was all that bad. So, Mr. Solar Cleaner down
one
there.
thing I've learned over the years is that the L stands for lessons. It certainly isn't luck. There's no luck in this game. It's blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of failure. And if you are not okay with failure, you might as well turn around and shut the door, because being a business owner might not be for you. Because failures happen, and you got to learn how to roll with the punches. You got to learn how to come back from the things that hurt. Sometimes things aren't the easiest. I can remember countless bird jobs that we did in the beginning, when it came to solar panel cleaning and bird abatement, that were just way underbid. Ended up taking us 2-3 days, longer than the amount of time that I expected, because we were using the wrong equipment. We hadn't found our process yet for the way we like to do things. Not only that, it was because I was letting other people bid the jobs, and they didn't know how to bid the jobs. And that's a failure on my part, because I didn't teach them how to bid the jobs properly, where to look for the nooks and crannies, for the extra stuff that's going to take the extra time. So, there was a lot of jobs we lost a lot of money on, but we were paying to learn. So here we are.
Yeah, failing forward, that's like the hugest, that's the big thing, like I can't relate. I've never actually failed at anything that I've tried before. I've only been highly successful. No, I'm just teasing. I don't really have like no big giant failures that I can like really, there's tons of times when I've felt like a failure, but it's mostly based on I guess the quality of a job, or this is more for like my contracting business when I was first coming up, not really the solar cleaning. But there is a thing that I don't know if it's a failure or what, but I have like come to crossroads where I've had to quit. I've been like I'm done doing this. So I don't really consider it a failure, because at the time it was like the best thing for me to do. And even at that time I knew that it was, and it was, because I had started another business. This is, it's been about 15 years now almost. But anyways, we started a business, and it was a lot of commuting involved. There's a lot of high-end properties out in Danville in the Blackhawk area, really picky customers.
Oh man, that's a drive. And even from where I'm at, it's a drive.
Yeah, dude. And it was just like, I was just unhappy, dude. And I don't know if I told Chris this or anybody else knows that, like, my daughter had a rough upbringing. She was sick a lot, and I was just away from home. So I just said, you know what, like, cash me out of the job, and I felt like it was a failure because I should have asked for way more money. And then so he cashed me out, and I kind of had to start over down here. But I'm pretty happy, dude, like, with all of my failures that I have made in the past. I don't know, man. But my thing, I think knowing when to quit, when to like throw in the towel is huge. And again, like knowing when to like tell people no, or like decline work, has been like, when we think about failure, those are what come to mind. But I've never had
back to that title, when to scale and when to quit. 15 years ago, you figured out that those jobs that far away wasn't for you. It wasn't for your family. It wasn't working the way that you wanted it to. So, you knew exactly when to quit. And, I don't think you can consider that a failure, because look at where you are now, in
a shed,
more successful and 100% more happy than you were back then.
That's a good one.
Nice job, Bob. I like the title you put on there today.
The solar panel cleaning industry in itself in a whole is at a crossroads. We're still young, we're still growing, and it's still defining itself. And there's huge opportunity and potential risk. And because the industry doesn't take the reins, it sets its own standards, or someone else is going to do that for us. And the thing about it is these failures are propelling us forward. We've seen what happens with other industries and regulations, or either they're non-existent or they're too extreme. In solar panel cleaning, where we can go ahead and consider ourselves almost in the Wild West, if you want to. When I first started out solar panel cleaning, I do talk about that first job, but what I don't talk about is the reason why they chose us. They picked us because the cleaners before us were walking on solar panels. So when we talk about these failures, because there are failures in different things, we should include the facts that it does help to propel us forward, and hopefully it helps us to start to create better standards to lift the professionalism in this industry. But also, it's helping us to do other things as well. It's helping the industry to grow into something that it shouldn't be, man. And that's what the deal is. You fucking, excuse my language, but you F up. So what? So what? Sometimes happen. And, you know, maybe we put too much emphasis on the competitor or individuals who, you know, point at us and push at us. Unfortunately, in the industry and in the social confines of Facebook land and groups, there are plenty of different individuals who are jealous and envious of others. And if you look at it, here's a real good thing to think about. The window cleaning industry or the pressure washing industry, which is unregulated. You don't need a license. You don't need a certificate. You really don't need anything. This opens the door for schmucks to come in and just start a job easily. So now the customer doesn't know who's actually professional and who's not. Then we look at, like, say, an industry like mechanic. Well, now check this out. My hair is all gone. By the way, my hair is all gone. That's how stressed I've been. If you look at mechanics, though, like an ASE, Tim, you're on mute because I want to hear what you have to say about this.
I was going to say that goes across the board with all trades and all service people. It's all customers are reluctant. You know what I mean? And it's our job as salesmen to remove all that fear and uncertainty, right? You want to remove any kind of doubt from them, you know? That's why I love residential, because
I do agree with a lot of what Chris was saying, but I also disagree with some of it because, you know, the pressure washing industry is, you know, it may not be regulated, but there is a license that you need to be a pressure washer. You need to have a contractor's license, at least in California.
And there's like safety hazards.
If you're charging like pressure washing jobs,
who's regulating them? Just because, and I think these are great questions to ask, but, you know, you got a good point. Because here's the other thing: as I look at, say, industries, like there is a little bit, and the reason why I bring this up is because it brings price undercutting, it brings a drop in professionalism, and it also brings the factor of the customer not being able to determine who's right, who's wrong, or who's professional and who's not. So you look at an industry like the mechanic industry where you see an ASE certified mechanic. It's not necessarily required, but it does show that somebody's taken the time and effort to improve their business and improve themselves.
Well, so let's shed a little bit of light on some of the other, you know, some of the other topics we want to jump in here today, guys. You know, when do you guys think it's a good time to hire for your business? Felt like we're getting a little off track, but I definitely understand why you're going where you're going. But when do you guys think it's a good idea to hire for your business? When should you not hire?
I've never hired anybody. I've never hired anybody. So I don't.
Josh, I want to hear what you have to say.
Man, I think hiring is a tricky topic. You know, I think when to hire, you know, I think a good time to hire is when you're feeling a little burnt out, when you're too tired to do all the jobs by yourself. But there's a caveat to that, because you can't just go hiring employees if you don't have the proper things that protect your customers and your employees. You know, one of those things being a workman's compensation insurance policy. If you got guys on roofs, you got guys cleaning panels, dealing with, you know, the type of electrical dangers that we're dealing with, and, you know, the slip and fall dangers that we deal with on roofs. You need to have your guys protected. If they get hurt, they need to be able to have an income in case, you know, something happens and they get put out of work for a while. Not only that, that policy itself protects your homeowner's house that you're working on and the homeowner themselves from getting sued by the employee that works for your company. And it also protects you from getting sued by that employee that works for your company. In some ways, if you have the proper safety measures set up, you've got the proper procedures and rules set in place, you know, generally people aren't going to get hurt. And that's, you know, that's because they're using the proper safety equipment. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But even when you are doing that stuff and you have the proper rules and tools set in place, sometimes accidents happen. And there's always room for error. So I think a good time to hire is when you have enough income to have a policy like that. And, you know, you've got to do some research to figure out, you know, how much it's going to cost you. You know, you've got to have a payroll service if you're going to be hiring employees to to be separated in the proper amount of taxes that the employee has to pay to the state, that you as the employer have to pay to the state. There's a few things that come into play when you're hiring employees. So if you're not doing your due diligence and you're not doing your research, you could put yourself, your team, your entire business, and your customers in a really bad place. So that's what I have to say about hiring. You've got the income and you've got the know-how and you've got the procedure set in place, and you're feeling burnt out because there's too much work. That's good news, but just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing before you hire.
In that first year, we actually had 6 people that were working for us. I laugh at that first week because we actually had 19 hours overtime. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. Now, if you do prevailing wages, which is what we were doing, prevailing wages, which in that specific county for that district was $54.10. So $54.10. 1.5 times 19 hours times 6 guys was a lot of freaking money. So when we're talking about employing someone, you're also talking about how much you're paying for because you have to pay taxes on your side, not just the taxes that are coming out of their check. I think it's very simple to talk about growth and to say, hey, you can add people to it. But adding people, actually adds a lot to it. Josh did add on something, because you have your insurance that you have to get for your business, but then you also have to get things like workman's comp. So if you're talking about scaling up and growing up, it's not just enough about how I've got enough money to purchase a robot. You need to make sure that you're able to take care of these employees and take care of them and pay their bills, because every 2 weeks. Well, let me just finish this. Every 2 weeks, Josh, you still got to pay them, even though there's net 30, net 60, net 90, correct?
And that's another thing. You got to be prepared to be able to float the bill on all your insurance policies, on all the payroll that's got to go out. Because if you're doing commercial, just like Chris said, net 30, 60, 90. We got one account that's at net 90. We got to wait 3 months to get paid from the day we complete the job. Not the day we start the job, the day we complete.
So what's the reverse? Is there a reverse side to this of descaling? Is that a positive thing or a negative thing?
Well, I think it depends on where you're at and where you're trying to go. I think, deleting employees, deleting insurances, if you
for
need
the better good,
is a necessary thing to do. Especially if you're having trouble hanging onto that payroll, having trouble, you got to learn how to schedule. That's one thing I've learned over the last few years, especially doing commercial. We'll book out 3 weeks of commercial, but then I'm floating the bill for almost a month, 2 months, 3 months sometimes. So we've learned that we've got to keep a crew or two on residential. They bring in that cash on delivery, that cash on hand that helps keep that bank account padded, so that when the other crew is handling commercial, we can still pay the payroll, we can still pay the bills. So, even sometimes things get late. There's even been some of my guys had to wait to get paid a little, but I think it's really about communication. And we've slowly but surely figured out how to budget properly, how to schedule properly, so that our guys don't have to wait. But yeah, there's definitely a time to descale if you're not able to handle that type of stuff.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well,
yeah, typically when it comes to like the opposite of that, I typically sub out. If I need help, I hire other contractors to come in and help.
Smart.
But, I don't like
1099 them.
Yeah, and I don't like carrying liability. You know what I mean? Like I don't like for my painting, not anymore. But in the past, I've had two helpers, that I paid regularly. One foreman and like a helper, foreman, but like a lead guy and then a helper. But after COVID, I was like, screw it, man. I'm just gonna run lean and mean. I got a couple buddies that are licensed, so when it comes to that, we just all pay each other and just help each other and just get shit done.
A lot of people talk a lot of stuff from the outside, which is funny. You currently have a $20,000 project that you're working on right now. How many people are working on that with you?
So I've had 2 guys help me on the inside, and then I got an exterior, another painter that I brought in for this. But it's the same thing. I'll pay him cash, 1099. He carries his own insurance. He's a licensed contractor too. So I go help him out sometimes for I don't even want to say the rate, and then he returns the favor sometimes. So
yeah.
That's another thing.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
That's another thing, being able to use your community. We're actually working with, I think 3 or 4 different companies from SPCF, Chris, shout out to you because you provided this community for all of us to be able to be in touch, but, they're actually subcontracting my company because somehow, some way, the advertisement that they ran, maybe they accidentally ran it in the wrong area. Just talking about ads last week. Go check out the episode if you're looking for more info on that. They ran ads out here and booked commercial jobs out here. And they're like, dude, I'm 6 hours away. I'm not coming to do that stuff. Can you help me out? And, we're here for each other. They've managed to book some good work and we're helping them get it completed because they can't make the drive or the travel because, maybe because of the cost it is to move a crew, to move the tools, to gas everybody out here, to house everybody out here. It put him way behind. Instead, he's subcontracting a buddy that he knows is professional in the group. We can help take care of his customers the same way that he loves to take care of his. We're making some money. He's making some money. So it's a win-win. So use your community. It's another one I have to say. Shout out to Tim. He's on the money there.
It's a good one. And if you guys haven't, go subscribe and follow Timo Paints. Nope. And if you haven't, he just dropped part 2, which I watched. As soon as you dropped it, I got the notification that I did watch it. It's 2 great videos. You should watch it. He's doing a hella large, and that's exactly how I will define it. It's a hella large project right now that he's doing. So you should go check that out. Yeah, very good.
I mean,
YouTube channel.
Small. I mean, to be honest, it's a small.
Don't be modest.
Project. It is though. I mean, this is like maybe a mid-size, like a normal average. It's an average.
Here's another hot topic. I feel like a lot of the viewers would be interested to hear. Does my personal credit matter?
Yes. There's a lot of different situations that you're going to get yourself into. Now, right off the bat, you think about a vehicle, work vehicles. Now, we've gone through 3 work vehicles just in the year of 2024. 3 freaking work vehicles. If you think that for 1 second that you're just going to start a business and grow and have everything up to your advantage, if you think that being on Facebook or anything in particular just propels you into a platitude or a path of success, boy, you got that incorrect. There are a lot of things that can happen in between there. Not only that, if you're deciding to step into commercial, there's a few things you might want to consider for the fact that you're upgrading. And no one needs to go from residential to commercial. The beauty of this industry is you can go straight to commercial. But Josh, am I not correct in saying that you want to jump up? Then you need to think about a robot or you need to think about a rotary brush. So you're thinking of spending between $4,000 to $50,000 plus the skid, plus you're going to need to carry it around. You need a good truck, and then when you get there, you're going to need to lift it up onto. That's money. That takes credit. So get your credit in line, guys, because I'll tell you what, it can screw you. It can.
Here's a good question Tim had yesterday. How much money do I really want?
Yeah, I think you gotta. I mean, how much money do you really want? The thing is,
enough to put hair on my head.
The thing is,
you gotta get you a couple more jobs first. So you can get some surgery there.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, dude, if you have what you need and you're happy and you're able to help others and you're happy, bro, then you're happy. Like, what the hell, man? I mean,
you're jumping right into the next question. Mental health. Are you happy? How plays a role in your business? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of your mind? Are you taking care of your body? Is your family happy? Is your family fed? Is your family sad because you're out on the road 30 hours, 40, 50 hours driving throughout the week? That's not even the hours you're working. Like Tim said, 15 years back, he had to take a step back. He had to reevaluate what was going on for him, what was going on for his family. And he had to change some things, and he did. And he's in a much different and a much better now.
The family definitely takes a beating in it. Your home life takes a beating in it. Yeah, all of it isn't easy. And the more years you go on through it, they say in the first 5 years, you'll know if you're going to last forever. I don't know about any of that. I've been doing this for far too freaking long. But I'll tell you what, it's, life can be complicated, and you got to keep on going, because the thing about it is the kids don't stop growing. They don't stop going to school. They don't stop needing stuff. The holidays don't stop. And then as they grow up, you have grandkids. I have two of
I
them.
either do the
And it just
Valentine's
adds
Day,
to
or
things. It's fun.
anniversaries, or the, you know,
Including all the regular bills that, somebody has to pay, which is what it is. No pissing and moaning. Life is what it is. But yeah, it is one big lump of crap. But as long as you're able to push past it and keep going, doesn't it make it all worth it? Because nobody tells me what to do. I'm my own boss,
100%,
right?
100%.
Listen, I seen this video a long time ago. I know we're like kind of getting to the end of this segment, but I saw this video a long time ago, and I can't really remember the context, but the guy's like they're talking about money and how much is enough money or whatever. Well, the guy says, if I told you that I'd give you $10 million right now, would you take it? And he said, yeah. He's like, what if I told you you can have the $10 million, but you'll die tomorrow morning? You'll die. You won't wake up tomorrow morning. So the guy's like, oh, I don't want the 10 million. So it's like, so you're saying waking up tomorrow is worth 10 million. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's a mindset thing, and I don't know.
I appreciate that.
It's the long game. It is the long game. I can tell you that the past 2 years have had more failures in them for me than any of the years I've done any of this stuff. But, we have a plan, like I like to say, the raw method: recognize, analyze, and resolve. And we're at the resolving point right now. We recognized there was a problem. We analyzed it. Going through it for 2 years is what it is. And now we're at a point, like I said, 3 work vehicles cost me a ridiculous amount of money. I think we've spent over $100,000 just this year alone on freaking vehicles, work vehicles. That has an effect. It has an effect. And you make bad choices. You just make choices. Shit, stuff happens. I mean, it is what it is.
I can
but
speak
it's going to be beautiful.
In the last 12 to 18 months, we've probably spent more than 50,000, and that's just on maintenance for the vehicles for our business. We had one van, a motor blew last year, the end of last year. That was $8,000 right out of the pocket to replace the motor. Thankfully, we bought the van. It was worth probably 15,000. We got it for 2,500. So it made sense for me to put that money into the motor and put it back into the van, because we got the van for so cheap. So we did. That same van 6 months later, transmission out. There's another 4,000. So there's a lot of things to look at. I just had to get new tires on our commercial truck. It's 1,400. Not cheap to put all-terrain tires.
It's not
tires on a commercial truck. So
I think if you want to scale, you got to consider like what kind of liability you're willing to take on, because to scale, you gotta create debt, right? And it's like you gotta work, you gotta grind. So like for me, I'm like, I don't want to work 24 hours a day and be balls to the wall. Like I was like that when I was a little younger, but like now I'm like, shit, I'm done like grinding every hour of the day and being stressed out of my head and being like, all my friends are losers because I'm fucking badass. And it's just like, it's lonely, bro. Like I don't,
it is. It is.
So, I don't know.
You know what? There are some people who shine in certain lights and some people who shine in other different lights. If you look at somebody like Tommy Mello, who owns A1 Garage Doors, I mean, he shines in a light that I just cannot fathom. I can't get to it, okay? As much as people, you want to say I'm this or that, or in a negative tone, I'm this or that. Like Tommy Mello is on a level that I can't even perform on my very best day.
Yeah, I'm on a little bit of a different mindset. I hope one day that I can get my company to be as big as Tommy Mello's. I'd love to have a 9-figure company. But him
or David Cross. David Cross and Tommy Mello are two people I look up to. Badasses.
CEO mindset. They've got it figured out. They spend plenty of time with their family, and they're still running 200, 250, $500 million a year. There's a way to do it.
You look at people like Sean Gavin, who's so happy with his life. Like, that's the ultimate goal. That's the goal. What do we got here?
Oh, yeah. Dan Martell. This is a great book. Love this book. Buy Back Your Time. Wonderful, wonderful book.
And that's what it is. Isn't that what I mean? Because aren't we getting here to the whole point? I think we're ending up here is trying to create a turnkey type of business where the business operates by itself. Is that the
You want to know what my
right
goal
thing
is?
for everybody? Let's go
My
ahead.
goal,
Go ahead. I want to know.
my goal is to build a client list and sell this bitch. That's the goal. And you know what? I started reading this book, and I think that if somebody is in a position where they're considering whether to scale up, I think this will be a good place to start. Like I said, I haven't completely finished the book, but basically he talks about like there's a way that you can kind of add value to the different tasks that you do, and then the ones that bring you the least amount of value and cause you the most stress, that's when you outsource like those things. So I don't know, I just thought this was helpful. I thought I'd pull that up.
100%.
When you guys think of your business, do you think about how you want to hand it off to your kids? Is there any thought of that in there and how you're growing it and how you think at the end of this, of my lifetime, I want to hand this off to my kids?
You know, if I had to be honest with you, my answer is no. You know, I'm not building
My kids don't want this.
I want it for my kids. You know, I hope that throughout the process of me building this business, that I can teach my kids some of the same lessons and some of the same, some of the same values that I've learned over the years. Also show them my mistakes as well. I hope my kids want to be business owners of their own one day, maybe start something of their own to provide, freedom for their family. But I never started this business with intention to give it to my kids. This is me. This is what I love to do. This is what I want to create. And I just hope they're going to be able to learn from me, watching me build this as they grow. And that's just me.
I think you're correct.
For me, no. I mean, if they want to, yeah. I got 2 girls. One wants to go on to be a nurse and maybe even a doctor one day. So I'm like, do that. I don't want you to do this. My oldest.
You ever watch Hotel Hell? You ever watch Hotel Hell where Chef Ramsay comes in and it's usually like a hotel that's been handed off from the
No, I'm big on Kitchen Nightmares, but I'll check out Hotel Hell. That sounds interesting.
It is very good. It's
yeah.
really good. It's addictive. Right now, I'm super addicted to it. I watch like maybe 2 or 3 episodes per day. Here's the thing is that my daughter loves what I do. My wife has been up on a knuckle boom lift 60 feet in the air. My daughter, who's 6 years old, has climbed up ladders and has been up on a 1-story roof. My kids get involved. Now, I don't suggest this to everybody, and let's leave Steve Williams out from hearing that part. But the point being is that my kids love it. They love it. Every time we drive by solar panels, my daughter refers to all solar panels as my job because that's what she's known pretty much her whole life. And my youngest, my boy, he knows what solar panels are. Now, I don't want to pass this on to them because I feel like that hold on here a second. I do want to see what this says here. Chris will never retire. He's just going to have the Social Security money only. Probably will go and live in a shed. You know what? If I'm lucky enough, I love to campy. I would love to because listen, Local 39, this dude is about to have a 4-day party at his house with hundreds of people stopping by. I don't know if you know anything about Timo, but he's actually a good singer as well. Like, I'm jealous. I want to just
you
come
don't
over
have
and
to. You don't have to defend me. You don't have to defend me, dude.
I'm just saying. Anyways, the point being is.
I just want to give a little bit of information to the viewers real quick. Next Friday is Valentine's Day. Shout out, do something nice for your ladies or your partners.
Oh, you want to see? You want to see the present I'm giving my wife?
Yeah, I got a date with Local 39's mom.
Nice. But we won't be going live next week on Friday.
We all do.
Take the week off so that we can spend time with our loved ones, our significant others, and you guys should be doing the same. Let's see it, Chris. What do you got?
A water-fed pole. She can have a water-fed pole. It's got nice clips. They're beautiful. They're nice and clean. She can take this water-fed pole and go clean some panels. And if she doesn't like that, then she doesn't understand romanticism.
Romanticism. Yeah, so next Friday, boys, we're not going to be showing up here. We're going to be showing up for the old ladies instead.
Yes. We won't be here. And if you want to know, yes, actually, I probably will use my wife's ATM card to go ahead and buy her own water-fed pole. You called me out, but hey, you know what? Why wouldn't I? She makes more money than me. She probably makes more money than you. She's a corporate woman who's been to college, has a degree, and works as an accountant for a big, large corporation.
Oh man, we're busting into 40 minutes here, boys. I guess it's time to start bringing some of these comments up, huh?
Let's do it.
Happy Friday there, Blue Sky Solar. You're always in the show. Next few minutes, we're going to be having our hashtag come out that's going to give you guys the gift card, the opportunity for the gift card. So make sure you stay tuned in for the next few minutes. We're going to have that hashtag coming soon. Happy Friday to Blue Sky and anybody else who's watching, like Local 39 or Solar Cleaner. You guys love to talk some shit. But you're still here waiting for that gift card. So I love it. It does actually seem like Timo did finally pay his internet bill because, man.
No, I had my wife pay it. I told her, I said, hey.
Really quick.
What the heck?
I do want to answer something here. This guy asked, what poll is that? Well, I plan to give her a Caucasian poll. It's a simple, and it's actually for sale, to be truthful. It's a 44-foot sim pole that's brand new, and it is, hold on a second. I think it's supposed to be non-conductive or something like that.
It's not non-conductive until you put it on a battery and actually show me.
So you've seen the videos.
Yes, I have. Hey, Chris, shed a little light on what happened in the hair. Did you get a haircut, buddy? What's going on?
Me, no. I have no hair, and so I clipper it every now and then. I don't have hair. My hair started going away when I was 18.
You ever think about bicking it?
No. Are you kidding me? Look at me now. I'm already ugly enough.
No, dude, if you bick it, dude, you look like a badass.
I have like these two. I have like a mole back here on the back of my head that doesn't fit well, and I don't have the right. Listen, when I was in 2005, I purchased a Hyundai Accent with cash, and this is far before I was cleaning solar panels. And I pulled up one day to go to work. I'd gotten gas at a 7-Eleven. I pulled out, didn't look, got right to the stop sign of a big major intersection. Went straight through, and as I looked to the left, in my lane was a big 70s Chevy van, close enough that I could have put my hand out like this. It hit me and knocked the hell out of me and rolled my vehicle. I almost died. Another time in my life when I almost died. Because of that, I have a misshapen head. So I don't, and it's not really a big dome as it is. So no, I don't think that I'll be
That
picking
boy
it.
Chris got cold clocked.
Clip number 3 on the guard, level is what I'm working with. 3 is about as short as I will go, which I believe is pretty good. But I have no freaking hair. Thanks for pointing that out, G. I just, will feel a little bit more self-insecure tonight. It'll help me as I go to sleep crying like I do every night. It's okay. It's because I'm so.
I know we got the Timo's homie in here, Mark Dark. Man, he's coming to the defense for us. Teach them work ethic. We were talking about the kids earlier. If they enjoy it, they take it. I think that's a great thing. If my kids ever say, "Hey, I want to run Solar Shine one day," I'm gonna be ecstatic. But just to the point that Chris asked earlier, I never made this or had the idea of making it. Take it on. Shoot, if they want to, I'll teach them how to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mark Dark. Mark Dark is actually, hey, so hang on real quick. So Mark, he's the guy that's actually helping me with the floors on that video.
Oh, nice.
Doing a good job. Doing a great job, by the way.
He's home now.
Those videos are looking good. Away. Looks like JG jumped in here. He said he's headed to a little league event. I'm a supporter, so I'll have a 3-foot by 5-foot banner for the entire season and also advertise across all their social media.
For the community.
Excited for the next venture in advertising. That's a good place to start. That's starting to build your marketing platform, and that is good advertising. Good way to get in front of a lot of eyes. Good way to get some extra jobs on the calendar. That's for sure.
Well, like I said, it's a beautiful life. There's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. I think we covered a lot on this
I see that
podcast.
On IG
coming to an end here.
Yeah. All right, Blue Sky.
Little consult last week. Blue Sky just said he hopped in your IG, so make sure you jump in there and make
just
sure.
So you know, blue sky that I'm a hack. I just want to make sure you know that before you ask me if you want me to help you out.
I don't know, dude. I don't know too many hacks booking $20,000 jobs. That's just me, though. I don't know. That's just me, though.
Yeah, it's just me. You won the lottery. You met the only one, dude.
So what's this hashtag that we're gonna do for today?
I was thinking just power up,
Tim. Yeah. Hashtag power up.
Hashtag power up. I love that. That's my favorite hashtag.
Yes.
Hashtag power up.
Hashtag about what? Maybe a year and a half ago. Started pumping that thing out.
Now, the first time I used hashtag power up was probably 2018.
Oh, nice.
Pretty old.
Almost 8 years ago. Money. Hashtag
yeah, so hashtag power up.
Anybody who posts that will be put in the draw. We'll be putting your names in a random generator to see who's going to win. We got the $150 certificate coming out today. So shout out. I love the hashtag. I'm going to go on YouTube right now and put hashtag power up. I want to try and win.
So here's the thing. Right now we got 8 viewers. All of them are viewing from YouTube. So we could have them leave a comment, not in the chat, but leave a comment on the video with hashtag power up. And then we'll announce the winner. We'll do it live. I don't know how we'll record it. I don't know. We'll figure out how to draw the names live. Yeah. Maybe we could do it on the SPCF page or something like that.
Yep.
And then I don't know. Do we want to wait? Do we want to wait until the 20th episode to, not the 20th episode, but the February 20th to announce, or do we want to announce it off?
No, because you're going to be missing because you got some stuff you're handling that time. So let's wait until the beginning of March to drop the winner. The beginning of March when we do our first
March 7th. March 7th.
March 7th.
Okay, we'll pick a winner.
Our
so
podcast, March 7th, you'll know who the winner is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think all these comments are already on the video. It's just live for us. That's why we can see it.
So let me ask a question. So we're not going to be here on the 14th, which is next week, and we're taking that off. Which I got to contact Manuel Mateo. We're going to have him on the show, but it's Valentine's Day, and the three of us don't want to get in trouble with our wives, so we're going to go ahead and take that day off. Then there will be the 21st and the 28th. Are we going to be here on the 28th, or are we going to be here only on the 21st and then back February 7th? Is that the plan? Just so we know, so everybody knows.
I think we planned on finishing out on February. In February, I know we are changing the frequency of the shows a little bit, but you guys will hear about that in the next episodes.
Yes.
We'll continue on every Friday for the rest of February. We may be missing Tim for one of those episodes, but don't worry, me and Chris will be here to keep you guys entertained.
So March 7th is when we will reveal who wins the $150 gift certificate to SPCFonline.com, courtesy of the Rise and Shine Solar Panel Cleaning podcast from Side Job Bob, Josh Lane, and myself, Chris, as we like to bring you some amazing stuff. So
JG said the comments are on the video, but I think it's only on the live, JG. So if you want a chance to be entered into the drawing, you got to go to the video after we're done being live on YouTube.
You can do it now.
Hashtag power up.
You should be able to do it while you're watching. It's just,
you
have 2 options while the video is playing. You could comment in the chat or you could leave a comment. So it's like, all you guys got to do is like scroll down, hashtag power up. That way we get, because you're not going to be considered unless you do it on YouTube. Because right now, everybody that's watching is on YouTube. So I think that's the best way to do it.
And you never know. Maybe you can pick yourself up a powerful pole like this one day to use for your solar panel cleaning. You want to get out there and make some things happen, or window cleaning, whatever you prefer, whichever is best to you and pulls your fancy.
We just put out a huge bid on a window cleaning job this week in Napa. So still waiting to hear back. There was 2 or 3 other people that put a bid in for it. So we're still waiting to see if we're going to get it. But it's for biannual cleaning on 8 different buildings in Napa, and the bid ended up being just over $40,000. So we are excited. Send some good vibes, boys. Hopefully we'll be able to book that big one. It'll be our biggest window cleaning to date. We have one that takes its place currently at a senior care facility out here in Antioch, which is fun, but I'm looking to bump up and get that bigger bigger
That
window.
reminds me.
There's some good vibes. Hopefully we'll be able to book that thing.
I have a customer right now that contacted me before the show who lives in Japan but has tenants, has a house here in California. We're going there tomorrow.
He said, I'm going to go bid $99. You jack.
We're going to go clean their panels tomorrow, but then also we got a bid for a roof cleaning that's about $2,000, which is really good. And I forgot this whole time I'm supposed to be putting an invoice to send to her so she could pay tonight. I got to get that done. So, I think that if I may say, there are a lot of failures. I have a failure every single day, but every single time I have a failure, I do have successes as well. So I don't think we should be afraid of failure. And in fact, we should go ahead and embrace it because it gives us opportunity to do better.
Yep. So when to scale, good time to scale is when you got the bread, when you got the jobs, and when you got the credit. And a good time to scale back is when you don't have those things and things are starting to stack up on top of you. That's when trouble happens.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Well, boys, I think today rocked. We got some comments in for #PowerUp. If you're still here, make sure it's posted on the comments of the video, #PowerUp if you want to be putting that name generator. We will be announcing the winner in exactly 30 days from today on March 7th. We won't see you guys next week because it's Valentine's Day. But thank you guys for watching. This is the Rise and Shine Solar Panel Cleaning Podcast, where we give you the tips and tricks for safety and success. All right. Won't see